there. Welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. I'm very happy if you're here watching. Pat, hello. Hi, App Happy. Welcome. Really glad you're here. Welcome to the show. It's a live show, and our discussion topics include anything you feel is newsworthy about anti-racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption in America. And that's everything, because that's everything. Sadly, let's be honest, it's everything. This show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind. So I want to know what you think. You don't have to be right. You don't have to be perfect. I just want to know what you think. It's really important. And it's also to serve as an educational tool in cultural competency, with a focus on learning the truth about systemic racism in America and our real racial history. That's kind of an upsetting topic to a lot of, folks that are white, because it's a toughie. It's a toughie for us, but that's what this show's about. You can see an actual, real, live white person talking about racism. And I think it's super important. I wanted to start off with a couple announcements, and then Mr. Artist Black, hello, welcome. Teeny, hello. Yay, I'm just like all over the place today. It's been some day. GETV, welcome. Oh, sorry about that. I gave a message, sorry. Well, I'm happy you're here now. I have some kind of interesting things to share with you, and I hope it gets some conversation going. So let's get started. This I'm going to post. I appreciate breaking news of any sort, because I can't keep up, of course. Mahako, hi, yay. All right, so here is a place where you can private message me if you have anything you need to say or tell me or whatever, or send me, and I'll be very appreciative. And later on, after my mini rant, you can call in if you want, and that's the number. So hopefully we will have a good show. I'm very excited. I have been getting a ton of new subscribers, and I'm just ecstatic. I hope they're not too shy to come to the show and, join in and participate. And I hope they're comfortable doing that. So, Big Red, hello, Big Reds. Nice to have you. Sweet. Well, this week I put out some crazy videos. I'm going to quickly go over those, talk about tonight's topic, and then my rant, which I did not write, but I thought was really moving. Interesting, kind of a parody, kind of not meant to be rude, but you'll see. So if you're here, please say hi, and I'll start by talking about some of the videos that I stuck up there on my YouTube channel and my Angry Soccer Mom Facebook page, and you can tell me what you think if you saw them, or maybe you want to see them later on. The first one, or actually the last one, remember the young woman who was dubbed Soho Karen? She was charged with a hate crime this week for her behavior towards this young, barely teenage Black child who, Keon Harold Jr., whose father was a relatively famous musician. And I guess she got charged. Everything's sort of backed up. I don't know. I couldn't find anything saying what her sentence was, but she was charged with a hate crime. So I put up a video on it. It didn't really tell much. I stuck up a video. I posted a video on Nazis marching in Philly. I don't know if that's some sort of something that's going to be happening in August, a precursor to that. But supposedly they were run out of town. It didn't look good for them. A lot of people were basically telling them to go to hell. That video had to be plus 18 because it was like, oh my God, there was so much swearing on it. I personally don't care, but I still want to get YouTube in trouble and mess with my channel. But anyway, there's that. I put up a video that a lot of people didn't watch about Black-owned businesses and Black-owned banks. And it gives a referral to a Black-owned bank in your area. So I was really jazzed about that. And it talked about some stats that are just overwhelming. When people deny systemic racism, I actually, at this point, I almost, okay, don't hate on me for this. I almost feel sorry for them. I'm like, seriously? Like, yeah, right. Yeah, right, liar. It's like, it's ridiculous. So anyway, the bank one was cool. And there was some guy, who apparently had been traumatized from New Jersey. I put this one up as well. I posted it. Who'd been traumatizing his neighborhood for like a year or more. He was caught on camera doing it, and he doxed himself, which probably wasn't the smartest thing he ever did. Claims he was drunk and he was sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There's no. I don't care how drunk a person gets. They don't turn racist all of a sudden, turn into a racist asshole. T, I have a Black-owned business. I need to check it. Oh, yes. And T does. And actually, I advertised a few, things of hers. It's on my Facebook page. T is an incredible. Sorry, I'm going to talk about you, T. T's an incredible human being. I don't know. I could not say enough nice things about her. And I wish I lived in your area because I don't have really little kids, but you'd be great. Vengeance. Hello. Thank you. Hello. Thanks for being here. Oh, yay. Sweet. So you'll come on sometime. I love having my friends, new or old, on. It really means a lot to me. It's people want to know. People need to see me talking like as a white person. It's lovely and everything for other white people, but the truth is it's ridiculous. White folks need to listen to people who live this every single day. They need to, I guess it's nice to listen to me, I suppose, but that would really, really piss me off personally. I'm just saying, I know myself. And if people listen to someone else and not me when I'm the one living it, that's just ridiculous. I don't know how else to put it. So, but that's how it is right now, at least. So that's why I do what I do, and I want your voices on. And I get nervous and I talk a lot. So, GETV, but I will definitely. I'll hound you. Don't ask anybody up here. Thank you. GETV, how does America fight a war against fascism and allow the neo-Nazi group to run rampant in America now? I personally don't have the answers, but it is quite a balance between individual rights. It's quite a balance. We have this freedom thing going on, a freedom of speech. It's not freedom to do anything, to talk about anything or to do anything. And a lot of people don't really get that. There are limits on it. It's not a free-for-all. That's what people think sometimes. But the truth is, it's a balance. Whereas you have the right to do this, it doesn't mean you should. And I think a lot of people get that very mixed up. I have the right to not wear a mask and to, well, you know what? Actually, that's really nice. But don't come in public because other people don't want to get sick and die. Sorry. So it's like, there's like a balance. It's not a complete, like total. Yeah, it's not, freedom doesn't mean freedom to do whatever the hell you want and harm other people. Sorry, it just doesn't. So it's a complicated thing and it's frustrating. But it's a balance and it makes me sick too, but there's another side to it. How the other side is fascism as well. We'll shut them up, we'll stop them. Personally, I think society can pounce on people who are doing things that are against society, and being a racist piece of shit is against society. But the problem is they have the right to do that, but they also have the right to get consequences for their behavior, social consequences. I'm not talking about doxing people and having people murdered, but I'm talking about people won't want to hire you. People won't want to keep you in their employment. And although that won't change your heart, it can sure keep your mouth shut. And that's a start. We can't change people's hearts, but we can make it very, very inconvenient for them to be assholes. So I'm going to let's kind of, I don't know if I answered your question, but you always have good ones. Pat was there from the start. The alcohol just gave him the nerve to say what he was. Right. Of course. Absolutely. And, you can't, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I mean that. You cannot. Felicia Strangels, welcome. Thanks for being here. You can't. I'm sorry. I'm not just going to be blunt about this. You can't say sorry for the way you feel and the way you think and the way you spew. I'm sorry. There's no sorry. I don't know. Maybe I'm hardcore. You don't talk about being sorry. You show you're sorry. Your actions show you're sorry over time. None of this, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Mr. F is Black, exactly. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. You said it so much better than I could. That's it. Yep. And people don't really get that. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's terrible to do social consequences. And sometimes it is. For example, I've been a victim of social consequences that I did not do. And once one person gets a rumor, they just say the next, and I literally didn't do what they said I did. They destroyed one of my groups. That's irresponsible. That's why when we do this, as you all listening know, you have to be very serious about doing your research and your investigations, and you can't take away from actual racism and bigotry and all these things by using an example that's iffy or weak. Some people pounce on everything. Well, that's just going full circle. That's just as bad as racists. I mean, if white folks are pouncing on, I've had the most trouble with white people, to be honest, pouncing on absolutely everything, not checking out a story, not understanding. I had a really close friend that we were having problems with, and I won't get into the story, but it was just crazy how people take the ball and run. The person, she was a Black woman, she didn't even tell them to do this. And I think oftentimes this is a mistake, is we think we're leaders. We'll show them. And she couldn't believe what they did to me. It sounded like she stopped them, but she was mad, And so it gets hairy. Let me see. America, such hypocrites. GETV, yeah. I would much rather live a really harsh truth than live a lie. I can't, and I won't be a part of it either. And I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel. I'm not going to live a lie. I'm not going to participate in the bullshit. I'm not going to participate in the, living in this. That's what I say. What are the colors of the skies in your world? Or I'll take 3 of whatever you're on, because I don't really get it. But, and I'm not trying to be so sanctimonious. But we got to talk about this stuff. And if we're white, we damn well better talk about this stuff, because there's nothing in our society that's going to get us to learn this if we're white. Nothing. We're not going to learn this in school. It's all whitewashed and BS, and they take out everything and they make it like Black, African-American, Indigenous people, brown people are like this little subset over here, that they actually didn't live here well before everybody else, and actually participated in everything and every time. It's just crazy. It's just so crazy. But it's awful. We're full of it. So, and I have great news. This is going to sound really goofy. You can make fun of me if you want. I do. I lost my Black Lives Matter pen that my friend bought me in DC. And when I was doing interviews down there, I found it. I was so excited. It's been gone for months. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, I know it sounds stupid, but it was my first time going to DC and blah, blah, blah. Enough about me. Let me take some comments here. And if I skip you, copy and paste, and don't let me skip you. I'm very out of it sometimes. Alcohol is the best truth serum for racist people. I guess apparently, because it's just so embarrassing. And I'm going to say one more time, if you're white and you're watching, and I'm not trying to judge you, I don't know you. So don't go there. It's not about us. It's about a system that we were born into. But you don't just sit and watch it. If you are, if you're somebody who is just hanging out, we got to force ourselves to care and to look at our brothers and sisters who deserve to have a nice life. And, I actually have a video on people who say, I'm sorry. And I truly believe in my heart, I'll say it one more time, that if you're sorry, talk's cheap. If you do something wrong, and I do stuff wrong, when you're learning anti-racism and you're white, oh my God, we're horrible. We do things wrong. And we are going to mess up, and people are going to think we're racist. And the way it goes, there's nothing we can do but keep trying. It's when you make it all about you and just go, oh, this is just too painful for me to do, then that's it. That's it. You blew it, you know? I've said things by accident, not really accident. I didn't realize I was ignorant, and I'm still ignorant. And I will, in a month from now, I'll do something and somebody will correct me and I will feel like shit. And for a moment, I will feel just like my world is over because, you know, white people like to be perfect. And I will say, you know what? Get over it. It's not about you. And that's what I'll say to myself. And I will learn from it and I will never do it again. So children are not born racist. Absolutely not. So how do they become racist? It's called socialization, indoctrination. There's the cycle of passing on racist, systemic racist beliefs onto your children. There's an overall general society that does that and has done that since the beginning. Think about the 1619 Project. I mean, since the beginning, before America was even, and the United States was even a United States. So, I mean, we got a lot going on, a lot of socialization. You teach somebody how to do it, or you teach them nothing and they see society and they learn real quickly. So white parents need to teach anti-racism to their children, or they will pick up system. Even if you never have a word, it's society, it's systemic. Let me just jump in there. Did I skip anybody? Let me see here. Tolanda, Pat, was telling, oh, that's private, sorry. Felicia's Three Angels. Hi, Kim. I've seen your last post about fourth, but I had so much to say, but it wasn't nice, so I kept it to myself. That's how I was raised. You had stuff to say about, you didn't like it. You can tell me if you didn't like my post. About the 4th of July. Is that what you mean? You don't have to please me here. Say what you want. If I did something wrong or you don't like something. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. And you can call in. Like, I want to know what you think. You're not going to insult me. What you think. I want to know what you think, not what you think I want you to, you know? So definitely, I posted so many things. I'm like, which post is she talking about? But yeah, call in or write in and tell me what you mean. Cause I want to know. Pat, that's how you get the point across. Mr. Rosback, when people get drunk, it's like when people get scared, their real person comes to the surface. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, and again, people say that this is just being arrogant and sanctimonious, but in a million years, if a black person or a brown person did something to me, I would call him a jerk. I'd call him, like, you know, mean, rude. It's how you feel and how you think is how you feel, and how you feel is what you say. There is a connection. You don't all of a sudden turn racist. I wouldn't even, I mean, I would probably say, I'm guessing, I'd say something really mean, but it wouldn't be about the color of their skin. It would be about them, what they're doing and their behavior. And, oh, I'm not like this Miss Perfect or something. It's just, that's not who I am. And so when people say, oh, it slipped, that means you're faking it, that you really feel that way. Because, yeah, you can't change someone's heart. And so that's why all these, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. And that might be harsh. You show how sorry you are over time by your behavior. So I will shut up now. Let me see. Pat, when you teach this type of behavior, then this is the outcome of it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely taught. Little kids, unless they're taught, I mean, they might be curious or something, but they'll play with anybody. They just want to play. They don't care. It's socialization that just kills us. No, it was a joke. Fourth. Oh, okay. Got it. Sorry. Felicia's Three Angels. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I'm like, what was that again? Sometimes I think back and I'll be like, oh my God, I don't even know what the person's talking about. And I should, but I ask. But anyway, yeah, no, definitely tell me. Okay, so where was I telling people? Okay, so the bank one, the New Jersey one. What the actual, you know what? That was like, he traumatized the neighborhood. And like somebody I actually was so touched by that
person. I put 3 videos up. I know it was probably like a little much, but each one of them showed a different part of it. And some of the neighbors were saying that he's been doing this for a long time. And this is not right. It's like being a terrorist. They even drove somebody out of the complex, I think. I mean, that's scary if you can't stop and the police won't help, or you can't get the police to help because they're in on it. Tolanda, it's interesting how we have Juneteenth now as a national holiday, but we can't get the truth taught in schools. Juneteenth is just a marketing tool. They profit off our pain. Absolutely. I was actually kind of furious personally about Juneteenth, and people would, on the surface, go, that's terrible. It's a great thing. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. In my mind, and it's not really my business, it's not my place, but from what I've learned, too little, too freaking late. That makes me very angry. Like, don't throw out this, like, how about the script where we actually dismantle systemic racism? It's a holiday's great, but that's like, it's almost like pacifying people. How about we really end it? Because we can end it, but we don't want to. There are cures for all this stuff. It's called education. We don't want to. So we're full of shit. And I mean, maybe not everyone's full of shit, but most of us are, because we still have systemic racism. So I'm not talking about, if you're a white person listening going, oh my God, she's so rude. I'm not talking about you. I don't know you. I know a system that upholds and continues to be racist as hell in every area. And it's disgusting. And so I am absolutely comfortable saying that systemic racism is absolutely horrific. And we allow it. A lot of people like to make it like, when I was little, we were taught by society, white people, by society, that this is a Black problem we have. And that is probably the biggest lie I have ever been taught through conditioning. We don't have a Black person problem. I'm dead serious. We don't have a Black person problem in America. We have a white person problem. And I am here to switch the narrative. This is on us, not you personally. No, I don't know you, but we were all born into this. People who look like me started this, perpetuated it, enjoyed it, and benefited from it. Or at minimum, did nothing and watched. So you're thinking, it's not my fault, or, oh, it's just inevitable. There's going to always be. No, I call bullshit on that. Nope. That's just an excuse to do nothing. So, oh, listen to me blabbing on. Okay, I also put up a video. Oh, that's okay, GETV. It's totally fine. But great point, T. That's Juneteenth. It's a pacifier. I want to see systemic racism dismantled at every turn. A holiday's great, but show me something for real. Show me some action. Show me something real that's going to happen. Yes, it's great that now some more white people know what Juneteenth is, and that's great. It's not enough. I guess I'm kind of demanding. I don't know. What do you guys think? Don't take my word for it. If you think it's a great thing, I mean, I think it's fine, but it just really pissed me off. I'm just saying. And usually I don't stick my nose into this because it's not my place. But I'm so sick of this BS pretending that we want to do something. We just don't know what to do. That's a lie. We do know what to do. We just don't want to. GETV. It seems like America doesn't want to change its dirty ways. Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't want to. That's really that's just my, we don't want to, because if we did, we would. It's really simple. Felicia Strangels. I went to Boost Mobile and it was all white people working. The lady called me baby and not ma'am. I know I look young, but I'm 37, and my 16-year-old daughter was with me. Said she's my child. So that's like kind of like almost belittling, humiliating a little bit. Like, is that kind of what you mean? Like, it's like I'm a grown woman. Don't be like that. Yeah, that is so a perfect example. I'm really sorry that happened to you. And it's like, I cannot imagine. It's like we're trying to infantilize people who are Black or brown, or we're trying to oversex them, or we're trying to, it's like, my God, how about we try to just say these are our brothers and sisters, they're human beings, leave them the fuck alone. Oops, sorry, leave them alone. You know what I mean? And it's like, even if they're not doing something wrong, it's like, it's not fair that you have to wonder. Like, you can't just go, oh, that was an accident. They didn't mean that. You don't know, because racism is so prevalent. And that is kind of terrorism in my mind. Like, you can't walk out of your house and wonder like what someone, you should be able to walk out of your house and go anywhere you want and be respected. I mean, they don't have to carry you from room to room like royalty, but for the love of God, you should never have to worry about some white supremacist. That's sick. So I know that's just my opinion. Mr. Evis Black, Tolanda, the Juneteenth announcement, along with Biden's infrastructure bill, is one big pacifier. Yeah, it's like they want to, okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I just don't get it. They want to build a freaking bridge. That's great. And I'm sure that's necessary. But are you kidding me? We have our own police getting paid to murder people who are Black and brown and indigenous. How about we build a system that makes it so they can't do that? Oh no. Or how about we rebuild the supposed justice system? So, I mean, it's just really upsetting. I guess I'm hardcore. I don't know. But I mean, I sound like a crazy person, but you know, I'm just nuts. I actually think people matter. And like, that's such a, what? People matter? Yeah, I think people matter and should come first. Yeah, there's a lot of us, but you know what? We have a lot of love to give and we can do this. We just don't want to. And it's disgusting. Okay, rant over, sorry. Felicia's Three Angels. I couldn't help it. But to think if I was a white woman, she would have spoken to me differently. And it was also how she was speaking. It was how she was speaking to me. Yeah. Like it's like, I know exactly what you mean. It's not just the words. It's like condescending. Like, oh, let me break things down simply for you, sweetie. Like, yeah, oh, yes. I mean, I think I get what you're saying. I'm not sure. But yeah, absolutely. Great points. Tolanda, they see us as a cartoon character or something in a movie. Like, it's weird. It's like they don't. I had somebody who I know really well. I'm not friends with her anymore. I didn't break off our friendship meanly. I just have nothing to do with her. She asked me what it was like changing a Black baby diaper. I'll say that again. She asked me what it's like to change a Black baby's diaper. And, you know, I'm all for curiosity, but just let that sink in. I actually was so shocked. I just said, it's the same as changing a white baby's diaper, but they're tanner. Like, what the? And I was just like blown away. This was a long time ago. But I was just like, wow. And this was a really good friend of mine. And yeah, there's that. Let me see here. Yeah, T, like, it's like a caricature or yes, that's how we've made it out. Yes, T, yes, exactly. I'm like, what the, oh my God. It was like, I mean, again, I don't mind people asking questions, but seriously, that's where they're at. That's like really low on the anti-racism continuum. Like, what did she think I was going to say? It's a baby. Anyway, enough about me. Yeah. So you totally get it. I was like, normally I'm not like nasty sarcastic, but there is a tendency when people are so like that I just want to, you know, but I try to control myself, and I'm supposed to be like nice and teaching, but that's bad. Let me see. Oh, Felicia's Three Angels. I don't want to think GETV. It's a mindset. Absolutely. GETV. I don't want to think she was racist, but when you are at work, it's a certain way you speak to customers. Yeah. I mean, and you know what the problem is you don't know. And that's not fair. You can't give the benefit of the doubt because you know what our society's like. You can't just go, oh, I'm sure it's fine, because it's probably not fine. And I don't know. all I know is that 3 out of 4 Americans who are adults today don't have a single close friend who's white. I'm talking about white adults, considered Caucasian or whatever you call it. You know, lower melanated activity in their body, because I know white's all made up. I just use those terms because it's kind of what society understands with the rhetoric. But I mean, it's not good. Let me see. Back it up. Okay. Yeah, Felicia, if that's, we're on a first name basis now. Felicia's 3 angels. I can't stand gaslighting. Like, that is, you know, everyone has like a pet peeve, and that's mine. Like I said, that's the start of the program. I would rather have horrible lies and cry and be sad and hurt than bullshit and gaslighting. And just when people BS me, I get crazy. I really do. I mean, I was raised with a lot of baloney. And so I really respect sincere empathy, honesty, and yeah. Okay. Yeah, we don't know. Mahako, yes, exactly. I personally don't understand why white folks go out of their way to bother Black people. Are the racist white people that bored in their lives that they need to harass us? Honestly, that's great. Jordan, that's a great question. I think we become so incredibly uncomfortable that we think we have to say something about them being Black. Like, it's like, we just like have to say something stupid. Like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know what else to say. I'm not speaking for white people, but like, it gets us so stressed that we have to like prove we're not racist really fast. And then we prove we're racist. And it's like so stupid and so horrible. And, you know, but on the other hand, I say hi to everybody when I'm walking down the street. I'm very friendly. I think it's a really important thing. Well, if a person's Black and I say hi to them, they must think, oh my, you know, they might think, why is that lady saying hi to me? Like, but that's what I do. So, I mean, you got to be you, but you've been around the block, you know, when someone's being a ridiculous, you know, just, it's like one of my videos that I did, which I thought was a really good video, but apparently not too many people watched it. I basically did caricatures of what white people do. Like, oh, when they see a Black person, oh, my sister's brother's uncle's cousin's child is Black, so we're good. It's like, shut up already. God, it's like, it's embarrassing. And I don't mean that rudely. I just mean like, don't just be quiet. Don't like, you know, they have to prove they're not like, or they'll come up to you and go, hey bro, it's like, no, you don't get to do that. That's not, no. I mean, if you're best friends, whatever you want to do, but I'm talking about like strangers. So, well, Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, we've done too many videos to, it's like, I don't know. I think it's just this incredible ignorance and lack of experience and nervousness. And I mean, we've been upholding systemic racism for well over 400 years in America, in the United States. So it's a really, really powerful system. And it doesn't just impact the white people to be racist. It hurts everybody. It makes people hate who they are. Maybe subliminally, maybe subconsciously, or it's just sick. It's just sick. That's all I can say. But yeah, no, great points. I don't know. I got no answers for that. I don't know. But Mahako, the white people in our neighborhood are like that with us. Really? That's terrible. Like, oh my God. T, what's wrong with people? Actually, I have a video that I made on them. You remember people, and I don't like to be condescending, but I do like to motivate, encourage, and push people who are white. Push them a little. Some people need somebody to be really nice, and I need people to be nice. I do not respond well initially to people who are nasty, but I will try to learn something from it either way. But I like to at least try to be nice. But I have a video that I put up when people were burning Colin Kaepernick Nike stuff. I think my video was called like, what the hell's wrong with you white people? I actually put that as a video title. I have feelings too. And I'm like, you hate Black people so much, you're willing to burn your merchandise because they dared to non-violently protest a racist, sick national anthem and police brutality and murder with impunity. It's like, wow. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. So my video was like, and whenever I see it, I'm like, that was pretty blunt, but some of my videos are teaching, some of them are blunt. You got to pick and choose. So, and hopefully you get the right one if you're a white person. I mean, I don't want to scare people off, but everybody responds to something different. Okay. Let me back it up. Okay. Just going to find my spot. Felicia said the same way you change a white baby's diaper. Right, exactly. And what's wrong with people? That's my, people actually have had people ask me this. He was very young, and it was actually, I know what he's asking. He said, can you please tell me? And I said, he wrote to me, and we were buddies, and he was a very young guy, he's a black guy. And he said, can you tell me all the stuff that they do and know when they're not, you know, when they're like just with white people? Like, why do they do it? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I felt really stupid. I don't know. I mean, like, there's probably 1,000 reasons. Insecurity, socialization, you know, just they're not a nice person, or I don't know. That, like, he asked me like if I would tell him the secret, like there's a secret. And it was like, he was very young. I mean, he was like 19 or 18, and he wanted me to tell him. And that made me so just, if I only knew. I don't know, but we do it. That's all I know. Let me see here. T, it's like we can't work, play, and live like everybody else. What the fuck? I know. I just, one of my friends just said, leave us alone. And I kind of think that too, you know, like, just, God, just leave them alone. Why, you know? Mahako, whoops, Felicia, sorry. She can ask me if she wants, because I've changed black and white babies' diapers. Yeah, me too. It's like, oh my God, it's a baby. But, you know, there's something very interesting. Little tiny babies, they are considered innocent in every supposed race. But when they grow up, I want to know, at what point does my little precious black child pose a threat to you? I want to know. 1, 2, 3, 5. When does my child become inhuman to you? Not a human, subhuman. I want to know. When does my, I know that's rude, but I get kind of emotional about it. I want to know when all of a sudden that cute, precious baby that you dote on and love turns into some sort of threat to you personally. When you realize they're really smart. When you realize they're human. I don't know. When you realize you can't get away with things because they stand up for themselves. I don't know. But it's a sick thing. Jordan, like, I got a new vehicle weeks ago, and this white guy literally just stared at me, shake my head, absolutely baffled me how far people go to show their foolishness to others who literally, who have nothing. It's just like, it's so weird to me because, like, people don't know, like, is it this? Is it that? I have to tell you a really quick story. Okay, don't hate me, but the other day I was taking my daughter shopping, and she's my youngest daughter, and she's been like showing good responsibility. So I told her, the more responsibility you show and self-control, the more, you know, the more privileges you'll get. And I know this might sound silly, but I said, do you want to go in the store alone? And she's 13, but she's very young 13. And she's like, yeah. And I've never had her do that before. And I was nervous. And so I parked right outside the store window, just to kind of like peek and make sure she's good, because she's my precious child. And I just, you know, she's not really outgoing, and she's never really been able to like self-advocate. So I just think, let her do this. It's time. And my other kids did that at much earlier ages, but each kid's individual. A man walked up to me and goes like this to some white dude. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, I'm not in your way. I haven't talked to you, looked at you. I can do what I want, buzz off. I'm thinking this to myself, like, what the hell? This person's like gonna have a fit, because I wasn't in a parking spot. I was pulled up well away from the doors. I wasn't in anyone's way, but he was coming from way, way over there. I need to go I didn't block the sidewalk. Anyway, he went like Oh. And so you know what I did? I go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm parked here so I can watch my child. It's her first time going in alone. And he goes, whoa. And I kind of like in his face. So my point is, people are kind of screwy. Like, you don't know. Don't act like you know. You don't know what that person's going through. You don't know. Stop being so goddamn judgmental. Stop thinking you know, because you don't. And that actually, he's like, oh, okay. Like, I had to have his approval. Can you imagine? I can't imagine if I was a Black person sitting in that car. It's like, you don't know why people do these things. And that's not right. I want to come to a point in our life where anyone who does something to you is just a jerk, not a racist. You don't have to even think that maybe they're racist or they are it. That's not right. It's like an ongoing crime against humanity. That's just my opinion. But anyway, yeah, Jordan, it's like they just won't leave you alone or something. And I don't get it. GTD, that's outrageous that she would say something like that. She must be so stupid. I don't know what her problem was, but yeah. Mr. was like, the conviction of Derek Chauvin might be the beginning of a change in the system, and it came from us holding steadfast on the need for justice. Absolutely. And I know this sounds really optimistic, but I read an article in the Atlantic that says we have to keep doing this and that it's actually working. We are forcing people to face the truth. And don't get me wrong, Black Americans, African Americans, Indigenous Americans, people of mixed heritage, you're going to get your equity. Oh, yes, you will. But why in the heck shouldn't white folks support and help? It's like, what the hell? We're supposed to just watch because we love our system of racism, because the best thing we ever did in life was be born white. That's disgusting. We should not just watch. Watching condones, we all know that. And just because we're born into this society that's really, really has a screwy culture, doesn't mean we watch. So anyway, I have like a big issue with that kind of thing. Mr. FS Black, I sure as hell hope so. I'm not holding my breath. The white people who run our nation, the wealthiest elites, have a huge stake in making sure racism stays. It's their life. It's their livelihood. And that is why if the poorest and middle income people and upper middle, whatever the way it goes, income people would stop their racism, stop our racism, and unite with our brothers and sisters who are Black, brown, Indigenous, mixed heritage, non-whites, we would have the biggest voting bloc, and this stuff could end soon. Because see, people are going to get their equity, but it's taking too long. It's a very powerful system. Felicia. Am I saying it right? I'm actually a phonics specialist. Felicia or Felicia? You're gonna have to call in and tell me, because I don't know. I'm gonna make you call in. Okay. Let me just back it up and take more comments. Okay, Mr. F's like okay. Mahako says, bad to do or say about that person. I'm not sure what you're talking about, because I'm like blabbing on and on. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I'm sure you're right, Jordan. Okay, Felicia? Oh my God, I'm the worst. I hope I'm saying it right. Do correct me. I want to be corrected. I need to be corrected. I appreciate it. Mr. Miss Black, it's mostly like a pacifier because he was caught on camera. GETV news. Yeah. Let me keep going here. I am Legend. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yay. Jump right in. Nathaniel. Oh my gosh. Welcome. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing so many people that I haven't seen around in a while. Thank you so much for coming by. It means so much to me. Even if you can't stay, just say hi. Do what you got to do. Thank you so much. Of course, I'm like backing, scrolling. And if I skip you, just keep bugging me. I'm so bad. T, we have one of the best houses in the neighborhood and they just can't believe it. Okay. What planet are you from? You want me to be poor and down? Yeah, right. Oh my God. There's a college, what's it called? College humor. That's it. There's a college humor that has a group of people and they're all like engineers or something, or they're electric engineers or something. All of them, white people, they're of everything. And it's a parody and it's a spoof. It's perfect. They're all about to go to lunch and they're chipping in for lunch. And they tell the black man, oh, no, we got this. He's like, I'm an engineer. I work I work with you. What, you know how much I make? What the? And it's like, it's such a perfect, like, no, we, and then a homeless man comes in and they ask the guy if he knows him. He's like, I mean, it is so obnoxious. So there's no way you could have the best house in the neighborhood. There's just no way. How did it happen? It's like, that is so ingrained in us. It's, if to this day in the United States, if your neighborhood turns more than 10% black, the housing market falls. Okay, that is systemic racism. I get people who write to me and say there's no such thing as systemic racism, and I'm like, whatever the color of the skies in your world, I hope you're having a good time, because you are not on the same planet. And the media doesn't help because of the way they portray. Absolutely. The media, when I was a really little kid, I told you guys at one of the other shows, I would come downstairs and remember, I'm kind of old. I was like 3 or 4. I didn't know what I was watching. And I was watching the news, the 11 o'clock news. I'd sneak out of my bed and I'd see a bunch of police sirens and I didn't really know what I was seeing. And 5 black people lined up with little things over their eyes so you couldn't tell who they were. Well, I'd come down, once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month, kind of sneak around. They were always watching that. And it was always on because that was the way the news was in the 70s and 80s. Yes, 70s and 80s. And 60s. And so it's obnoxious. It's indoctrination. His conviction will be a pacifier, Mr. F.S. Black. Chauvin, I'm sure that's your, yeah. I'm just all about action. I want to see action. Word talks cheap. One time, yes, it's great, wonderful. The whole world saw it. Well, the whole world can see a lot now because we have video cameras and things aren't changing the way they should enough. So, Nathaniel, thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. I appreciate it so much. It is my absolute honor to do anything and everything I can. And I should have no credit and no thanks because every white person should be. We live in society. I mean, that's just my place. That's what I think. But of course, I appreciate your kindness. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, Felice's 3 angels. Black kids become adults at 7. Exactly. And 7 in some white people's eyes. And that's the truth. A 7-year-old child would be manhandled before a white child. Absolutely. In fact, there are all these studies that I've read about a long time ago that show that like 2.5 police, 2.5, they think a black child is 2.5 times older than they judge them wrong. Okay. That's systemic racism. They judge them wrong. 2.5 years off. And there've been a lot of research and it's scientific research. It's called social science. This stuff's real. People will deny it, but sorry, it's real. Okay. Back I go. Great point, Felicia. Great point. They also call white men boys even when they're 35 and older, especially if they're in trouble for the law. Right. It's like, I'm not a boy. I'm a grown man. Seriously. And that's very purposeful. That is great point. Very purposeful. Some people, it's so purposeful, they don't even know they're doing it in the sense that that's how they think. That's how they feel. So that's how they talk. And it's condescending, and obnoxious. That's what slave masters used to do. Yeah, that's definitely their mental period. Yeah, I have no answers. Pat, if a white person had to go through what a black person would go through on a daily basis, they would not be able to take it. Yet black people are constantly told to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Yeah, it's opposite day. That's what, when people do that, you're 100% right. We would shatter into a million pieces. We would not be able to handle it. Okay. Felicia, I am so bad. Felisa? I'm terrible. You're gonna have to call. But yeah, we would shatter. We don't, no, we couldn't. We are so fragile. And you have to practice. Like if you're white, I don't know if like everybody knows this or not, but you have to practice not being fragile. You have to practice. We're so entrenched in, ingrained in, and you know, in this. You have to practice handling the truth. And you feel like shit. And then you got to say, self, it's not about me, a white person. It's not about me. Get over it. Stop. I'll tell a really quick story. And I had to do this. And if you are white, there's no mechanism in society that is going to get you to learn this. Your parents, if you have white parents, they're not going to teach you. If you have black parents or brown parents or indigenous, they might teach you. That'd be great. And you'll know. But unless you have a lot of experience with people of every different shade of person and we white people, we are so isolated, and it is all purposeful. It's what we do. I'm not just talking redlining. I'm not just talking redlining and sundown towns and all these. I'm talking about we're almost as segregated as we were pre-64. It's obnoxious, and especially in this era, it's obnoxious. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, Pat, you are right. Anastasia, hello. I hope you're still here. I'm blabbing. Welcome. The reason why they can't mind their business is because they don't know what it is to be them without us. Like your mom knows life without you, but you'll never know life without her. Let me think about that for a second. The reason why they can't mind their business, that's very philosophical. I need to think. It's because they don't know what it is to be them without. Yeah, it's like we've always, we meaning collective system, not you personally or whatever, not a white person. I don't know you. If you're a white person watching, I do not know you. This is not about you. Collectively, as a system, we have always had, like Lyndon B. Johnson, you know, I'm going to say it again. I say it every time. I should just have it like on a poster on a wall or something. And I don't know why I don't, because every time, but I'm going to just take a minute. I'll say it again. It's disgustingly antiquated. He said it, and it's true. It really registers. If you convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and help empty them for you. It's always been that way. And I hope I'm getting that right, what you're saying. And if not, please correct me, because I want to get it right. Or maybe you have to call in. Sorry, I'm making everyone call in today. Let me see. Anastasia, and the poor whites are fighting not to be on the bottom, because without Black or Asian or Hispanic people, they know they will be treated like we are. Right. It's like this whole thing is ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you. I'll call you Three Angels. Thank you. Sorry. I'm really bad, but I've been this way a while, so I'm not like, thank you. You're very sweet. James, welcome. Welcome. Hello, everyone. I saw your post. I will backtrack and catch up later. Thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Yay. Thank you. T, it seems to me that white people are taught to be self-absorbed. That's part of the it's part of the indoctrination. It is. And then add the economic privilege the more economic privilege, the more that happens too. So it's really complicated, but you know that. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we are taught to, just thought of a good example, but it's a little personal. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, no, it's, I totally agree. Ramses, welcome. I hope you're still here. I'm blabbing away. Thanks for coming. GTV. Felicia, don't hate me. Three Angels, like that guy 18 or 19, which is a man, but he was treated like a kid with the rifle who shot those people after George Floyd riots. And then the police let him go just by the, right. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he's treated like a child. Like he's treated like oh, it's like, that's a grown man with a freaking gun who murdered somebody. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't get it. Yeah, great points. Yeah. Oh boy, do I have a video on that guy. There's some stuff. His case is coming up in August, I think. And he's not repentant one bit. It's just so sad. Not trying to be judgmental, but sorry. T. It is historically proven that white people rely on stepping on Black people in order to survive. Well, that's what we've always done as a collective. I mean, we took humans and decided they weren't human so that they could work for us to make us money. So yeah, we did that. So you could say that again. I mean, that's like understatement of the century. T, absolutely. So, I mean, whether we know we're doing it or not, it's kind of like indoctrinated into our culture. Like I say, almost every show, if you're born in a hospital in the 70s or 80s, the first little, you come out, doop, hi, I'm here world. You're in the little bassinet thing. And first thing you see is a doctor is probably a white man. Second thing you see is probably a white nurse. Next thing you see is probably somebody who is not white doing food service, cleaning. It is indoctrination. Okay. And you'll say, that's a stereotype. You know what? It's a stereotype because we make it a stereotype. We do that. We do that. So anyway, I'm blabbing on and on. Yes. Vengeance. What drives me? What drives me? Oh, that's nice. Thank you for asking. I'm crazy. No, I can't stand injustice. Like something's wrong. I can't stand it. I cannot stand there and watch I love my fellow humans. I know it's the stupidest thing in the world. Go figure. I was just born like that. I love my fellow humans. And it is so much more painful for me to do nothing and watch than to blab. I'm actually really shy. I know no one will believe that, but I'm actually incredibly, I have a lot of like anxiety and so I'm a little goofy, but what drives me is I want to it's just stupid. It's all about me. Like I do this for me. People go, oh, you're a savior. No, I'm not. I'm not saving anybody. I'm saving myself. I'll try to explain really quickly and we'll move on. I can't watch society do this to my brothers and sisters who aren't white. I can't watch. And sure, I might not get to too many people. I might get to one person, 2, 3. I can't watch and do nothing. It kills me. And that's all I'll say because yeah, people don't get it and I don't want to make it about me, but thank you for asking. That's very sweet of you. I think that's what you're asking. And if you weren't asking me, oops, sorry. Please, yeah, it's not put a good way to pronounce it. If you help me, call in. Vengeance. I mean, what drives your passion? Okay, can I just like tell you guys a really quick story? I shouldn't really be doing this because I have so many cool things to talk about with everybody. When I was, I have lots of stories, but I'm only going to just tell one. When I was 23 or 24, I was a teacher and I really liked kids. I didn't have any kids. And today I was looking through some pictures and I found 2 pictures I haven't seen in 20 or 20 something years. And I actually got really teary because, and don't make fun of me, because the dress is a bit much. I don't know if you can see, but I brought them. These are my kids, my first kids. This is my first classroom. Those are my first children. I was 23 or 24, and I was an elementary school teacher in Compton, California. That was my job. That was my second job. Okay, now you can make fun of this one because look at me. I don't know if you can see. That's actually me in like the high pants. And those are my kids. And this is little Bernice, who's probably in her 30s, on the last day of school. And these are just kids like doing a math. I used to give them all math problems and have everybody do it at once so I could get more kids going. It's been, oh my God. Okay, the LA riots. I don't remember the year, but it has been so long and there's not a day. Valerie, oh my gosh. Hello, welcome. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. There hasn't been a day in my life I haven't wondered how my babies are. And I know that sounds really stupid and like, but when I was like 23 or 24, I didn't know a lot. I know that I loved the kids. They were my first kids. I didn't have kids. I wasn't even married, or whatever. And they were my life. And I had 38 kids in one classroom, 38 kids in one class. And that might not sound like much, but it's a ton of kids and no help. And, oh, Valerie, I'm thrilled you're here. Thank you. And I was in Compton during a very, very rough time for that. They had the LA riots and Rodney King and I was there for a very, very rough time, but I was like a child myself. I wasn't sophisticated with this kind of stuff. I just knew I loved teaching the kids, and I probably wasn't the best they could have had. I think, but I cared, and they honestly, I was the first white person a lot of them had ever talked to in their lives. It was extremely like, there wasn't any white children at the school. Not one. There's a couple of kids who were like mixed, like this and that, mixed cultures and mixed heritage. But so I was their white friend, I guess you could say. And I loved them. And we had 8 shootouts in the neighborhood in the second year I worked there, right before the riots. And a shootout in the neighborhood you'd hear shooting, like guns. And you would, they called it code yellow. I don't know why. And the janitor that worked there he closed the gates of the school so nobody could get in. And it meant that there was a shooting in the neighborhood. And like, we went through that together, like 8 different times. And they'd say, "Oh, we don't have to duck." I'd be like, "No." I was 20 something. I was like, "Yes, you duck. No, come on." They're like, "This happens all the time." And I'm like, just do me a favor, duck. I'm like, I'm supposed to be in charge of you kids. I didn't have kids. I'd never babysat in my life. I was like, this is really scary. So everybody get down all the time. And we went through a lot of this together. And I have to say, and then I'll stop blabbing about me. Seeing the pictures today was very emotional for me. Very emotional, because the last day of class, after the riots, we went back, and I had to, this white woman from the suburbs had to explain to them. They didn't really get it. They all came with new clothes and new toys and new shoes and new everything. And they're like, "Yay." And I'm like, "Well, you guys, those are somebody's things." And they didn't get it. And I explained, and we talked, and it was a wonderful conversation. They came back too early. Like, I know their parents talked to them, of course, but like, they came back too early. It was traumatizing. The whole place burned down. Our school didn't burn down. It was really good. But like, they should have had, like, nowadays they'd have like people coming to psychologically help the kids of things they saw and all that. But no, this was in the day where they just came back to school. In fact, there was still rioting going on when I went. That's a long story. crazy. But like, so I felt like parental, like, okay, I gotta like, is everything okay? It was just crazy. And I'm gonna say this without getting emotional. I wonder where my children are. The last day of school, when after the riots, two of my kids were arrested from my classroom. They were 10 years old. And remember, I was really young. So I was doing this really fast. I saw police out the window, and I had I had a class where you could shut the door because it was like one of those, not temporary, but it was a special, we were the only class with like air conditioning, you know, we were like the chosen ones. And I saw police coming up with the principal, and she looked really pissed. I went and answered the door because I knew she was going to try to do something, and she had police right there. And then I'm like, okay, I was like really scared, like, okay, you got to answer the door. And my kids were all watching. And remember, I had like 38 kids in one class. So I said, hello. And I mean, I wasn't trying to be bad. I was just like, I didn't want the police to come near my kids. And so I opened the door, and they said, we're arresting two of your students out of the classroom. And I looked at them, and I slammed the door just out of like, reflex. And then I opened it. I'm like, because I was really nervous. And they said, let us in. And I said, please don't do this. They were 10 years old. And that was the last time I saw two of my kids. And it was one of the very last days of school. And so I want to know if they made it. I just want to know if they were okay. That's all. So I'm done. I shouldn't do this. But I did. I talked all about me. Those pictures, I should have never looked at those pictures, but I just want to know if they're okay. And I wish I could have done more, and not to be a savior, but because I loved them. And I had each kid for 2 years because it was a special program that I did. It was a gifted and talented program. So they stayed with me for 2 full years. Let me see. Now, I promise not to blab. I'm going to find a spot and read about it. Felicia, you're not crazy. You're saying that everyone else is crazy. Yeah, I have to tell myself that. Because, when you do what I do, like, and if I'm not hanging around like my friends who get this, like, the white people are afraid. They don't want to talk to you. They just don't. And if they don't want to learn, then I guess they don't care. And so there's not a lot of people to talk to around here. All my friends are people online, and they actually come to my house and visit me and come on my show. And I love it. I love it. Some of the most incredible, like, I feel like I found my people who get it. And that's all I needed, because I can't stand injustice. And I am not a savior. I do this for me, because I can't stand it. It kills me. Okay. Let me see. GTV, Black people should just take their money away from the economy, and then maybe the white people wake up. Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the best videos I put up last week was the bank, the bank. And they explained how, and I got some nasty comments, and I kind of went off on them. Not rude, like, I was like, seriously, dude, like, you're showing your ignorance. I don't usually like get rude to white folks who do that, but I got some that I didn't even put through on my YouTube, because I'm not putting through horrible people like that do that. So, but yeah, it was very eye-opening. And I already kind of like knew this already, but I believe that. When I went on Philip Scott's show, he asked me if I thought there was hope, and I said yes. And he said, do you think that Black people, he asked me, I didn't know what he was going to ask me. And he asked me, do you think that that white people will ever like act human? Basically, he didn't say those words, but, and that we shouldn't just like make our own places away from. And I said, no, there's hope. There's hope. I still think there's hope. Don't get me wrong. This is my opinion, but I understand what he was talking about. I've come after these last few years. I've lost my faith. I'd say losing my faith in humanity one Trump supporter at a time. So, yes. Yeah, I don't know. GETV, you have excellent questions. Anastasia, our situation is covered under Two Cradle Theory. People of color descended from lands of plenty, so we are communal, but Europeans descended from lands of scarce and death, so socialization is different. That's an interesting way to look at it. I have to read about what you're talking about. That's interesting. Thank you you always bring up very academic things that yeah, I'll never get it. At least I don't pretend to get it. I have no answers. I know socialization and all that, but a lot of it I don't get. Thank you for your excellent point. You know, they say the smartest person in the room of fools is a fool to them. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was told I wasn't human the other day. You're not real. I'm like, last time I bumped myself up against the wall, I was real. I'm like, they said it was just, people are so weird. Felicia, yes, the video I saw of yours, you were talking about your kids. I think, yeah, that I just put it up. I must, if that's the one I just found it today, because we were looking through, my little girl and I were looking through pictures, and I was just like, it just hit me like, those are my kids. It's like, thanks, T. Thank you. And Valerie, I hope you're still here, and I'm blabbing too much. And you, Valerie, if you scroll up, you can call in. I haven't gotten to the rant yet. Usually I wait to the rant, but I'm taking lots of comments. Thank you, T. You are so good to me. Thank you, Vengeance. Thank you, Vengeance. It sounds funny. Thank you, Vengeance. You guys are very sweet to me. 10 years old. And they were teeny little, they weren't like, you know, like some kids are big when they were teeny little guys. I know what they did. I knew what they did. I know what they did. And it was wrong, but I don't blame them for what they did. Long story. That school had a lot of problems. I can just say it really fast. One of the older teachers there was abusing the kids. And I went to the principal. And you guys, I made mistakes in my life, so I'm not perfect. I went to the principal and told her. And she told me basically to shut the fuck up if I wanted my job. And I didn't know what to do. And these kids, as a long story, again, I'm talking about me, which I'm not supposed to be doing, but they took my kids out, Rashawn and Jamal, and like, it's been like 30 plus years, and it just comes right out, Rashawn and Jamal, and they were just two of my teenager kids, and they put them in handcuffs in front of my whole class. And I begged them not to do it. I said, don't do this. And everyone was scared. It was horrible. But anyway, message you later. You'll be on my program. Yay. Thank you, Vengeance. Absolutely. And you can message me on the Facebook page. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have to take off because it's getting late, but thank you so much. I will count on that. I will hound you. No, just kidding. Thank you. T. Oh, I haven't even gotten to the topics yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there, Valerie. I'm like, okay. I've been blabbing too much. Garrick. Hello. There's nothing wrong with caring, and it was real love and support for those children. Trust me, those kids will always have positive feelings about you. Thank you. I just want to know. I know it sounds stupid. I just want to know if they're okay. You know, one of them called me. God, I am so triggered tonight. One of them called me a year after I had left the school. And he was we went to the middle school for a visit that year. And we had to leave because the police couldn't guarantee our safety at the middle school. These were my fifth graders. We had to leave. We didn't get to have a tour because they couldn't guarantee my kids were safe. So we left. And a year later, one of them called me, and he was a really tiny guy, another tiny guy. And he was a little bit heavy and a really sweet, smart kid. And he was being made fun of. And I lived really far away at that time. So I called the administration and basically asked them to please get involved. Because, I mean, I still could call the district. And I don't know what became of him, if they helped or if they just didn't give a shit. I mean, anyway. Thank you guys. Kim, oh, James, the Philip Scott show is where I met. Oh, that's right. That's right. James, I knew. Yes. Totally. Thank you, Garrick. That is incredibly nice of you. Mr. Oslak, Kim, have you seen the news about that black teen in Fort Worth, Texas, who was killed in a road rage incident? Police just saying self-defense, but of course there's nothing to back that up. It never is. I don't think so. If you have anything on it, I would love you to send it to me. There's so much going on. I can't keep up, but thank you. And, or if you want to come on and call and tell us about it. I don't think I know, but sometimes I'll like look later. Oh yeah, I know about that. It's just right now it's not ringing a bell. And I think oh, somebody's calling. Hello, welcome. Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Amy South Mama's Anastasia?
Anastasia, hello. Thank you so much for calling in. What's going on? Thanks for being here.
What's going on? So you asked me, I put the two cradle theory.
Yeah,
right?
tell us. Mm-hmm.
And the name of, he's the champion of African history. He was Afrocentric before Afrocentric
Was a thing.
came along. But his name is Sheikh Anta Diop. So basically what it is, it's a theory, of course, right? Of two cradles, you know, the cradle of life.
Absolutely.
The cradle of life is on one side, the southern cradle, which is abundance of vital resources, sedimentary, agricultural, gentle, idealistic, you know, all kinds of different things, communal living. You know, you have a situation in Africa is warm.
Like down to earth.
Before certain things.
Kind of.
I'm sorry?
Down to earth, you mean? Like kind of like as one with the earth and like that kind of thing?
No. What I mean, the two cradle theory, right? Because they always say Africa is the cradle.
Yes, cradle civilization. Yeah.
Right,
uh-huh.
Right. But then you got to remember, everybody left, like, you know, migrated out. So now you have the northern cradle, where the European was born out of. So where it's cold, these Scandinavian countries,
right?
These European countries, it's a completely different lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're saying that the reason why more white people or more Europeans are more individualistic is because that's how they had to live in order to survive. They wouldn't have survived worrying about everybody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm actually going to look into this because I want to, what you're saying absolutely makes sense. Go ahead. Tell me more.
So what he's saying is, it's just a theory, right. And he's to theorize where racism, the crux of racism, it's all other things. But Dr. Claude Anderson says racism is nothing but groups of people competing against one another for wealth and power.
Right. Absolutely.
So when you break it down to that, your color comes into play. Because that's the way I'm going to identify who the other is.
Absolutely. It's the first thing we see. It's the first, it's very...
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's just a tool. Oh, you have a vagina, so you're weaker. You understand what I'm saying? Where most native countries, indigenous people, it's a matriarchal line.
Yep. And also...
You understand what I'm
Absolutely. You're making total sense. And also the whole two gender thing is a whole nother construct.
Right.
It's like there was always more than two genders.
Right.
Always. But then we had to.
When you're living it. Right.
Yeah, totally. You make absolute
When
sense.
you're living in that type of scarceness, you have to be, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a person that comes from poverty, the fire in their belly, versus the person that was born with a silver spoon
with everything, and they've never needed or wanted. They don't know what it feels like to go hungry or go with no shelter. Or that's interesting. I'm going to look that up actually, because after.
So think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. The fact that if you came from a country or originated from a country where, think about 6 months out of the year, there's total darkness. It's cold
and it's wintry.
Half of your people, right? Half of your people are going to die during the winter time. And you have to search for food. Your whole life is searching for food so you can live.
Yeah, you have to be almost selfish, like I'm going to survive. Yeah, that makes
Right.
interesting. I'll
Right.
read about that. That's
versus if you go to, say you go to the Amazon, any country in Africa for the most part, and I'm talking about pre-colonization.
Mhm.
Even now, you can pick, if you go to Hawaii, you can pick fruit off the tree
Mhm.
and eat it. So there's no
Absolutely.
reason for us to fight you over food or these things.
Yeah.
So like he was saying, the Southern Cradle, you know, they had literature emphasizes novels, tales, storytelling, ideas of peace,
Mhm.
justice, goodness. Now, when you go to the Northern table, it's xenophobia, individualism, moral solitude.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I put his name in your comment,
Oh, would you? Because I
but
don't
like I
think I
said,
can spell it.
I wanted to tell you about that because a lot of people they think racism and this thing is this mathematical equation. If you just look at the socialization
Mhm.
of these different people,
Mhm.
when Columbus came to the Taino indigenous people, they just gave him what he wanted because that's what they were
That's
used to
their way.
doing.
Yeah. And people look at that as a weakness. And that is culturally bent. That's actually a beautiful strength. And or we have it backwards, I think. But wow.
Right.
Anastasia, I'm
It's
so happy that you called in because this is very interesting.
no problem.
I
No
appreciate it.
problem. Thank you.
That's awesome. I'm so going to look this up because I kind of get what you're saying. And it does make sense. Oops, did she? Whoop, I think she hung up. Oh my God, that was awesome. Wow. I was like a little bit hyper, sorry. Yay, I'm still looking that up. Let me see here. Oh, wow. T, you're going to make me cry. Okay, seriously, I'm just feeling really emotional today. I had a really rough time last night. People who forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And you know what? That is what I've been telling myself for the last, like, I know I made them feel like they mattered because they mattered. And I hope that came through. That's all I'm not like out to like, I can't save the world. I can't save anybody but myself. But I just hope that they felt my sincerity and I didn't have any kids. So like, I was the worst. Okay. Confession time. At the end, you know, when you don't have kids and you've never babysat, well, let's just say maybe your judgment isn't like perfect about like what to do. I'll just say it. Please don't judge. At the end of the year, they wanted to see a movie, so I let them see Arachnophobia. Okay, yes, I said it. What an idiot. I should have been fired, but I didn't know. I didn't know that was like kind of a scary movie. They loved it. Yeah, there's that. So, I mean, I had the judgment of a dingbat, but that's because like now I have, you know, I had kids and I'm older, but yeah, so I did some stupid things, but anyway. Okay, that was confession time. Thank you, T. Valerie, Juneteenth is a pacifier. White people will support a symbol, but not voting rights, civil rights, or economic fairness. Absolutely. And I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about that. I was like, don't give us some sort of pacifier. Stop and dismantle systemic racism. How about that script? And it's really frustrating. I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's a joke. We know what to do. We know how to do it. We just don't want to. So I was a little bit, the Juneteenth thing, I was like, shut up already, you know, like, gee, thanks. Too little, too late. You know, that's just my kind of like my knee jerk reaction. I mean, it's not really my business as a white person. It really isn't. But I care about people. And I'm like, don't get fooled. We know what to do. We just don't do it. I don't know how to say that, but great point. Thank you, Valerie. And Jamie, I hope you're still here. We have to catch up. Thank you if you're still here. Valerie, of course, white America doesn't want to change they like the power and they have over people and institutions, right? But it's being racist. It's like, we like the power and all that, but it's still not in our best interest. And we don't get that. We're being played the fools. I mean, we are. we are fools. And every generation, we just can't seem to pull it together. We have a common, most white people have a very common plight with other people who are not white, 100%. But the wealthiest elite keep us separated, because if we unite, we will have some voting block, and they won't have it, because that'll wreck their system. And when white folks blame Black people for everything, that makes me so angry. They're blaming the people who've been victimized by us. It's like, it's sick. They're blaming the wrong person. And the white elites who are wealthy and run our nation, thank them for their service. They're doing the dirty work. So that's, yeah. Oh, I get triggered so much on this. Good night, Dave. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. So much. It is getting late. Wow, I haven't even gotten to my content yet that I had for you guys. People are coming in. Let me just find myself. Okay, I'm back. My kids were fighting. Oh goodness, I understand. I get it. Oh, great. Anastasia, thank you for that. She put that up there if you guys want to look into it. Maybe you guys already know about it. That was a first for me, but totally makes sense in an interesting way. Felicia, the three angels, I say the same thing about Juneteenth. Yep. Valerie, I was debating white privilege with a white male friend on Facebook. He doesn't understand busting his butt is not the issue. The system is not rigged against him. It's rigged against people. Yeah, see, I have, send to one of my videos. I have a 101 video that starts off, says, white privilege does not mean you have a great life. It does not mean you're happy all the time. You're not depressed. It does not mean that you don't work hard. It means that you look down. If you're white, that is not in your way. That is not what's stopping nasty society and our culture from having a nice life. Okay. It's not something that they have. And they don't like, there was like, I worked for everything I had. Well, it's like, that has nothing to do with it. They just, you know what, Valerie, I just think people don't want it. They don't want to get it. I don't know. That's just kind of like my thing. Like they just don't want to, but yeah, you're a better woman than I cannot take it sometimes when people get like that, but I'm glad you're fighting the good fight. It's just, let me see. It's a systemic, and it's a systemic institutional problem. He doesn't have to try to understand. Right. And then also he's making it about him. That's the thing. Like, I always say, like, it's not about us as individuals. It's about a system that is much more powerful than any one of us. And stop making it about us. It's hard though. It's like a really steep learning curve with this stuff. Are you racist is not a yes or no question. It's a continuum. It's where you lie on the anti-racism. That's a whole nother story. People hate on me when I say that, but that's truly what a lot of academics believe. Don's World, hello, welcome. I hope you're still here. I've been blabbing a lot. Valerie, excellent points, of course. The lady in the phone line was exactly on point. GTV, yeah. I'm excited to read more and delve into it. I'm thrilled that she called in. Tolanda, your silly arachnophobia is not that bad. Those kids already had work. I was like, but I remember they're like 9 and 10 years old and like, I don't know. I wasn't sure, but I think mistakes were made. Thank you. They obviously survived it, but what an idiot. I knew nothing about kids. Okay. Anastasia, thanks T. The white man will try to satisfy us with symbolic victories rather than economic equality and real justice. Malcolm X. Yeah. No, that says it all. We know how to stop this. People, a lot of white folks think, and understandably so, like, we just don't know what to do. That's a very innocent, like, yeah, we do. We do know what to do. We just don't want to. That's just my take. Let me see here. Okay, everyone, Annie Grisak Mom, we're going to sleep. Say goodnight, all the educated viewers on this channel. Thank you so much for being here, GETV. You are wonderfully supportive of the live show. Thank you, I appreciate it. Good night, sweet dreams. Anesthesia. Anesthesia is white America. It's white America's perception that they might be losing their financial and social status while people of color make gains in those areas. Yeah, absolutely. And we get so like, I don't get it. Well, I do get it. I mean, in a sense, it's almost as if white folks are afraid that when we're the numerical minority, we might be treated the way we treat people now. And you know what? It's ridiculous. How about the script where we stop treating the people that way? It's like, it's just not enough to be nice to everybody. A system this powerful is not going to dismantle by being nice to everybody. Say, I treat people the way I'd like to be treated. That's awesome. But white folks need to do more than that. To take racial responsibility, we have to educate ourselves and then get out there and educate other white people. And white folks in general do not want to talk about this and learn. And it's really bad. Thank you for that quote. And again, Anastasia, thank you so much. I'm going to totally look that up as soon as I get like a spare moment. Valerie, there's money in racism. Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellent point. If there wasn't, absolutely. Let me see. Absolutely. Let me see here. Felicia was right. Someday, especially kids these days. My oldest daughter knew about the Netflix show 13 before me. I think that's the name. My daughter said I was a Karen. I was like, how do you know what a Karen? My little one. How do you know what a Karen is? And I'm like, Karen. She's like, you look like them. I'm like, shut up. But anyway, yeah, kids do know a lot, but still, I was still kind of guilty about that because I was just too young to like know. That's funny. Valerie, I would love to see Black people have a Tulsa equivalent. Oh God, me too. But the same institutions still exist that would make it impossible to maintain. Valerie, when I saw the video of the raw footage that was actually real, like film footage, I got teary because it's like, we took this away from people. It's like, I don't know, but me too. Please, Kim, don't rush to get, oh, thank you, T. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was funny. She just like, I'm like, you don't know what a Karen is. What? How do you know all this? You know, I'm like, okay. But anyway, thank you, everybody. You are wonderful. Thanks, Tonda. See, I don't even, I want to go on the last video I put up. I want to kind of get back to this because there's so many cool things I wanted to share with everybody tonight. Yeah, I know I'm not. It was just like, she goes, but they kind of do look like me. I mean, okay, she was kind of right. Like they always like are like slightly blonde and like, I don't know, I'm just saying. Anastasia, this country was made for white people and they may be small in number, but not in power. Same as in South Africa. Yep. Black Africans are the minority and they also have the alliance with Europe. And yeah, it's I want to read, and America to back them in all this. Yeah, no, it's a powerful, powerful system. And so a lot of times I'll tell the white folks who are like, I'm not racist, I'm not this. It's not about you. It's about a system. It's way more powerful. No offense. Than like, I try to like help them get out of themselves. Because if you're defensive, you can't learn. I mean, you're so defensive, you can't learn. Great points. Okay. The last video I put up this week was the controversy surrounding racism towards the founder of the 1619 Project. And she had a huge controversy this week, which I would love to get to. So tonight's topics, even though it's like midnight, tonight's topics are that I have planned, and whatever you want to talk about, as always, of course. I have ideas to ponder. I have a very short section on the New York City race massacre of July 1863. It's extremely relevant to what's happening today. The 1619 Project and its founder and what happened this week. And then maybe we won't get to solutions to saving our democracy. We'll save that. All right. What I want to do right now, if there's still folks who want to hang, is read a rant that I thought was really powerful. Today, my rant comes from Facebook, of all places. Don't judge. I do. It comes from Facebook, and wait a second, I saw somebody. It's the same as in Israel and Haiti. American and Europeans will always help the white or white aligned minorities over the people of color. I know it's a worldwide problem. Yes, I was talking like the United States, but absolutely. And we're supposed to be the later. Well, I don't know if we are anymore, but we're not setting a good example. We're setting a really crappy example and have been forever. Sometimes there's a theory that says there's a theory that a guy wrote a book. I can't remember his name. It was pretty well known. It got well known, and that the Revolutionary War had more to do with keeping slavery than anything, because England was starting to back off. And I'm just saying, there's a lot of theories. We still learn, these hidden things. All right, so here's my rant. It's from Facebook. It's a message that I came across. I don't think it was meant like to be an actual person, but rather a sarcastic parody or an imitation of what Trump supporters think. But I thought it was powerful, so I'm going to read it, and I'm going to try to read it fast because I know the people who have comments and questions. Let me just sneak over here. So this is what it said. A day in the life of Sue, the Trump supporter. There's no real Sue. Sue gets up at 6 a.m. and fills her coffee pot with water to prepare her morning coffee. The water's clean and good because some tree-hugging liberal fought for minimum water quality standards. With her first swallow of coffee, she takes her daily medication. Her medications are safe to take because some stupid commie liberal fought to ensure safety and that they worked as advertised. All but $10 of her medication is paid for by her employer's medical plan because some liberal union worker fought their employers for paid medical insurance. So now Sue gets it too. She prepares her morning breakfast, bacon and eggs. Sue's bacon is safe to eat because some girly man liberal fought for laws to regulate the meatpacking industry. In the shower, Sue reaches for her shampoo. Her bottle is properly labeled with each ingredient and its amount and its content because some crybaby liberal fought for her right to know what she's putting on her body and how much it contains. Sue gets dressed, walks outside, and takes a deep breath. The air she breathes is clean because some environmentalist wacko liberal fought for laws to stop the industries from polluting our air. She walks to the subway station for her government-subsidized ride to work. It saves her a considerable amount of money in parking and transportation fees because some fancy-pants liberal fought for affordable public transportation, which gives everyone the opportunity to be a contributor. Sue begins her day at work. She has a good job with excellent pay, medical benefits, retirement, paid holidays, vacation because some lazy liberal union member fought and died for these working standards. Sue's employer pays these standards because Sue's employer doesn't want their employees to call the union. If Sue's hurt on the job or becomes unemployed, she'll get a worker compensation or unemployment check because some stupid liberal didn't think she should lose her home because of her temporary misfortune. It's noon and Sue needs to make a bank deposit so she can pay some bills. Sue's deposit is federally insured because some godless liberal wanted to protect Sue's money from unscrupulous bankers who ruined the banking system before the Great Depression. Sue has to pay for her Fannie Mae underwritten mortgage and her below market federal student loan because some elitist liberal decided that Sue and the government would be better off if she was educated and earned more money over her lifetime. Sue's home from work. She plans to visit her father this evening at the family farm, their home, the family farm. She gets in her car and goes for a drive. Her car is among the safest in the world because some American-hating liberal fought for car safety standards. She arrives at her childhood home. Her generation was the third to live in the farmhouse, financed by Farmers Home Administration because bankers didn't want to make rural loans. The house didn't have electricity until some big government liberal stuck his nose where it didn't belong and demanded rural electrification. She's happy to see her father, who's now retired. Her father lives on Social Security and a union pension because some wine-drinking, cheese-eating liberal made sure he could take care of himself so Sue wouldn't have to. Sue gets back into her car and rides home and turns on the talk radio. The radio host keeps saying that liberals are bad and conservatives are good. He doesn't mention that Republicans have fought against every protection and benefit Sue enjoyed throughout her entire day. Sue agrees, we don't need those big government liberals ruining our lives. After all, I'm self-made and believe everyone should take care of themselves just like I have. End of rant. So that is my rant. I just thought that was pretty powerful. I'll take some comments. Oh, T, you tried to tag me, and I'm basically kicked off Facebook, so you can't tag. I can't get tagged. Basically, I'm not sure how else to put it. Colonel Don is in the house. Hello, welcome. Oh my gosh, tell me what you thought of that. I thought it was powerful, but I want to know what you think. Let's take some more comments. Welcome, Don. I hope you're still here. Garrick, Karen and Kevin come in many forms too. Supervisors, professionals, scientists, doctors, prosecutors, congresspeople, et cetera, When racists have people over you, then it gets scary. They can affect. Yes, great point. Great point. And those Karens and what did you call them? And Kevins, or somebody was calling it. Yeah, somebody was calling it something else. I can't remember, but yeah, those folks make it harder and harder. We're getting better at hiding who and where we are. We're getting better at it. We have to. Systemic racism morphs and changes with the times. Oh, you tag my page. I never knew that was possible. Well, I'll have to figure that out. I must not be seeing it, but we'll talk. Definitely. Let me see. But definitely I'll try to figure it out. I'm actually kind of technically like disabled. It's horrible, but I'll find a way. I'll figure it out. Let me see. Garrick, awesome point. Valerie, I could believe what I saw. I could believe what I saw in the Tulsa video footage either. Maybe I couldn't, or I could. It didn't look like the United States. Sadly, it is. Yeah, the video I was talking about, actually, I'm not sure if we're talking about the same things, but the one of actual before we destroyed it and destroyed it. It was like there was the man who started that the Greenwood area. He was like this really wealthy guy, and he had one of the first video, like I guess video maker cameras, and so it's like really old fashioned, but there are real videos of people. And I posted it, and I got it from the Smithsonian, and I wasn't sure if I'd be allowed to post it because sometimes there's like copyright laws, but I posted it, it was fine. And I watched it 4 times because it was just like, it was amazing. It was a wealthy, upscale, thriving, money stayed there. Like, what is it, 18 or 19 times? I can't remember the exact number, but it was like money stayed there. People, everyone wasn't well off, but most people were really, it was Black Wall Street. And we destroyed it. We couldn't have that, So, July 64 question. Not sure what you're asking. Of course, I can't. I wish you were just there so I can just talk to you. But definitely, if it's important to you, then just write it in and I'll figure it out. Valerie, Anastasia, and liberty in the persons of a distant people who never offended him, captivating and carrying them into slavery into another hemisphere, or to incur miserable death in their transportation to who. Okay, I must have skipped something. Looks like the finish to something you wrote. I'm going back up. What you're describing is what white folks did. I tagged your neighbor. Yeah, T, just keep tagging me. I'll figure it out. I'm so bummed I'm off of Facebook because like really limits. I can't share stuff. I can't. But thank goodness I stuck a relative in there as an admin when I started realizing that they were going to boot me off or something was weird. And so I can go in on as them. I just don't have all the privileges. Oh, males or Chads? Wait, Chad, Chaz, Eric, Steve, Roy, Alan, Frank, Kevin. Thank you. Yeah. Shoes. Okay, I got it. Sue should appreciate what others have. Let me go back. Oh, James, just thinking, your students must have loved you. Did you read to them like you did? Oh God, yes. I read to them. I loved them. They were incredible kids. It was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, I had too many at 38 in one class, with some kids being absolutely brilliant and then some kids being brilliant but not having been schooled. So like they could barely read. Then I had kids reading at college level all in the same classroom. So, it was a fiasco, but it was a busy, just every day was an adventure. It was amazing. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Let me see. Just making sure I don't skip anybody. I wanted to just keep going for a teeny bit longer if it's okay, because I didn't get any of this stuff. I have a couple of ideas to ponder, and oh, cool. You sent me Anastasia saying, I sent you the first draft of, you're like such a researcher. I love it. You're an academic. The draft of the Constitution before they decided the anti-slavery pass. Yes. Oh, I would love that. Also on there, I have on my channel. Thank you. You thought it was, I thought it was powerful. Thanks, Valerie. I was like, not trying to put down people, but just, we got to think. Don't even get me started. This post I put up of the Cornerstone speech, a man who does transcripts, read the entire thing. And it is one of the most disgusting, I'll just be honest, it's most vile, disgusting things I've ever heard in my life. But I think every white person needs to hear it. It is not shy about explaining what the point of the Confederacy was. And I feel like that should be a document every single person who's white has to listen to. Because if you listen to that, unless you're, I don't know, on your phone, it's powerful because it's incredibly sick and it gives you the real feeling. So I like real history because you can't, like a primary document, you can't lie about it. You can't hide it. You can't whitewash it out. So, Valerie, I'm glad you liked it. Okay, here's an idea to ponder, and there's two of them. Here's one, and I want to know what you think. It's kind of something I just came up with today. The first topic in ideas to ponder is a quote that someone sent me about people who spew all lives matter. Now, I did a big video on that because I was absolutely like crazed. And this person was spewing all lives matter. And the moment, well, the first topic is, okay, it's people who say all lives matter. The moment they hear someone supporting Black Lives Matter, like movement. The truth is, I believe saying all lives matter has become another way to say F Black people. I think it's derogatory at this point. I'm not sure why this is such a difficult concept for some folks to understand. So here's another way to look at it. So I'm going to read it real fast. If you know anybody who's white and want to show them this to teach them, that'd be great. But Black, brown, and Indigenous people and people of mixed heritage are under no obligation to teach us. It's like, what, you have to live this bullshit all day and then go home and teach the white people? No, it is our responsibility. And that's why I'm trying to teach white folks, so that then we can go out and teach other white folks and spread the word that we are done with this. And if you're white, you have to vow, this ends with me. Not to be a savior, not to get your picture on Facebook, but because you're human. And it's wrong. It's vile and barbaric. Okay, so here is what a shepherd had 100 sheep. A shepherd had 100 sheep, but he noticed that one had gone missing. He put the other 99 in a safe pen and went to find his missing sheep. All of his sheep mattered, but at that moment, one in particular needed his attention. Now, that is like preschool to me, and it might be condescending to somebody, but if they are having a struggle with understanding that there's a Black Lives Matter movement for a reason, okay? And when you say all lives matter, that is disgusting. All lives should matter, of course. but they don't. And until they do, it's our responsibility to make this stop. End of, that's the end of that. So, okay. So I don't know. I'm going to take some comments. T. That's the thing. The Sue thing is a reflection of Lyndon B. Johnson's quote. I smell video content. You're so cute. Help me. Yeah. Very good. Let me make sure I didn't. Sue should appreciate what others have created for her. Yeah, Sue doesn't. Sue thinks she's done it all herself. It's really, I mean, Sue, yeah, she doesn't know her own racial history. She doesn't know her own history, which of course is racial history. Racial history is history. The day that comes when we don't separate it is the day systemic racism is dismantled. History includes it, but right now, nope, not with us. Really sad. Valerie, I saw several Tulsa videos before the bombing and after. It broke my heart. Please forgive the typo. Oh, no problem. It's so hard typing, and like I misquote people, and yeah, keep the conversation going. No worries. Just correct me if you have to. It's people get used to it. No problem. Talenda, every time some racist spews all lives matter, I'm going to post that quote and then leave. Totally. Yes. I mean, it seems babyish, but if that's where they're at, I just try to meet people where they're at. I have other ways of like explaining all lives matter is like incredibly vile and rude and so demeaning and just, but that's all. Okay. The next, I'm going to kind of race through this. The next thing I have is a short excerpt from The Atlantic. It's called, Hello.
So I'm calling in again. It's me, Anastasia.
Anastasia, yay! What's up?
So you were talking about the Cornerstone speech, yes, and you were speaking about the All Lives Matter BS, right?
Yes.
So I know you've probably heard about Seneca Village, right?
Yes, but I don't know much.
Okay, Seneca Village, it was a black town in New York that they destroyed and made Central Park.
Oh, yes. I do know about it. Yes. They took people's houses away and they made a park. Yes. Okay. I just didn't know what it was called.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I've read about that.
Right. So it was called Seneca Village. You know about Arlington Cemetery, right?
Yes.
And Freedom Town.
Yeah. These things are like hidden secrets, but they need to be told.
Right. Right. And you know about Lake Lanier, right?
No.
And Oscartown. So there was a town called Oscartown. It was a thriving black, and supposedly 2 black boys raped a white girl.
That's a
in
classic.
one day they were tried, convicted, and sentenced to death and lynched. So the white people of that town decided that we're going to go on a massacre, genocidal temper tantrum, killed everybody in the town or ran them off and put Lake Lanier over that. That's in Georgia. So the reason why I'm bringing up these things is because this country is about amnesia. That's what the United States means, USA, United States of Amnesia, and coveting. So the fact of the matter is that somebody was saying about that, they're never going to deal with it. They would rather cover it up, build something on top of it, so nobody ever knows their sins. So they're perpetually innocent, like a child, which goes back to what you were talking about. The swimming pool, when they desegregated the swimming pools versus them swimming with everybody, they decided
they got rid of them all.
We're gonna cut, which white people are gonna suffer too. So white people suffer with racism and discrimination. Right. So the reason why I called, and the thing about it, like I said, again, there's never gonna be a situation where white people on a macro level come to terms in what they did. Not in this country. Now, the reason why we can deal with the Holocaust is because we can look and say, oh, that's what they did. You know, because we didn't do that. They did that. Even though we know that they knew about the Holocaust and what was going on with those German and
Absolutely.
Polish Jews and Egypt
We allowed it
and
to
the
happen.
Roma
Absolutely.
people.
Absolutely. And Black people were murdered too there, and
Yes,
LGBTQ, and
mentally disabled.
Yep.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. No,
And
we
so
knew. We knew.
right,
Ignored it.
exact. As long as we can point to somebody else, because what's the first thing with the cornerstone speech? Because you brought that up, right? That wasn't us. Why do you want to blame me for something somebody else did? So you got to remember that this country has brought the white population up as children. Think about how we turn white people into children. That woman, what is it, Soho Karen? What did she say when she grabbed the 14-year-old boy? I'm just a girl. I'm a 22-year-old girl.
Willful
You know,
ignorance.
what could I have
yeah.
done?
I call
Think
BS.
about it.
Right. We are given the benefit of the doubt because we're innocent. No, and no.
Right.
Totally.
Think about it. Think about certain things. And when you see these parking lot caddies, and this is the reason why giving them these little cutesy names is dangerous, is because we need to call these people out for who they are. You are a terrorist.
Yeah.
You kidnapped this person. This is what you did.
Absolutely.
Okay? So that goes back to other things that you said, because I love the fact that everything you say is interconnected. Now, we've made movies about these things. Snowpiercer. Think about that movie. There were people in the back of the train that was led off to their death to fuel that train so the people in the front that can live. Elysium. You understand what I'm saying? All of these movies that are saying about the government, saying what they're doing, what they're going to do. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that white America pretends that they don't know what's going on, that's why when the young lady was saying she's in a debate with somebody about white privilege, you know how I feel about it. It's not my job to educate anybody.
Absolutely.
You better Google it. You better ask Jeeves. You better because the thing about it is you will find out what you care about. Because this is the thing. Like I said, we talked last week. It's the picture of Dorian Gray. If you were to actually look at yourself in the mirror, because Angela Davis said, what would you be without racism? What would you be without calling me the N-word or the other little racial slurs that you call other people? You would be a sad, mediocre person. Think about it. Look at Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, you know, you got these conservatives that I know you talk to. Tucker Carlson is an heir to the Swanson conglomerate, right? But Tucker Carlson's dad got him into school, right? And his first job at the TV station, the only reason why he got that job is because Dan Rather and nobody else was around. Donald Trump, we know what type of mediocre dummy he was.
Well,
so,
just,
I mean...
Yeah, these are the wealthiest elites who spew hate. And can I ask you a question? When I don't want to cut you off, but I want to ask you a question.
No.
Have you read the Sum of Us? Because some of the stuff you're saying is from the book The Sum of Us.
The Sum of Us, no. I haven't. Who is that by?
It's I have a video. I'm blanking on her name, of course, right now.
The Sum of Us?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm blanking on her name, but it's getting late. That's probably why. I just put up a video interview of her. And what you're saying is a lot of, like with the pool stuff, about how instead of getting, that was from an interview she did. Instead of.
Right.
So I thought maybe she's read that book. I don't know, because you're really well read. So I was just curious. But
no, the thing about it is I read The Miseducation of the Negro, a lot of James Baldwin, of course, Ava DuVernay, you know, a lot of that. But the thing about a lot of times what happens is, you know, you catch videos of certain things and then you go research it. And it's like, what? Did this really happen? And the critical race theory, like today, for example, and I'll let you go. We went to because, you know, I live in Virginia now. Before when we used to talk, I lived in the hellhole, aka Mississippi, which is best exports is racism and dumb people. But moving on.
Scary.
So we went to the American Indian Museum in DC, right? And so as you're going through this museum, you're seeing all these things, right? And they're telling you the truth. Well, some of the truth about these things. And so it's like my husband said, he said, the people that need to come in here are not going to come in here.
Oh, of course not.
And the people that don't understand that critical race theory, and I think what it is that they hate the fact that Black people, because, you know, as far as in a caste system, we, specifically Black women, are considered the lower part of the hierarchy. I'm not saying that. I don't believe that. But what I'm saying is, it all boils down to white inferiority, because you wouldn't have to do all of these things.
Well, a truly great person doesn't.
That superior.
Right. If you know, a truly great person is gracious and wants to support others. A truly great person doesn't subjugate and doesn't. I mean, it's all a lie. We live a lie. It's a lie. You know, it's a fantasy.
Right.
World.
So it's like, for instance, if you see an ant walking down the road, you're not going to go out your way to stomp on this ant.
Right.
You're just not going to do that. Because you know his life or her life is at the tip. That ant is not worried about me. I'm not worried about the ant. If you truly thought you would, and this is the thing with the attack on Black women, which you were talking about. The attack on Black women with Miss Nicole and the UNC. And now they're saying, oh, she's ungrateful. She's ungrateful because UNC waited to the last possible day. Then they only did it after the protest.
All the protests, right. Yep.
She's ungrateful.
Yeah.
And then the thing about it is, I keep telling, they told Jamel Hill, oh, you're racist because you're telling people they need to go to HBCUs, but you don't want to explain why there was an HBCU and why Jamel Hill is saying that.
That's disgusting. What they did to Nicole is horrible.
Exactly. So the thing about it is, to end the reason why I called is because the thing about what you're talking about is the simple fact of the matter, this whole thing with critical race theory, which I don't even think they read where the critical part came from, where the race part came from, and what the theory is.
It's just a buzzword.
You know what I'm saying? They're super stupid.
They don't even know what it is.
Slow.
They don't want to know. It's willful ignorance. It's willful ignorance.
Right. They didn't even read what it's about. So you don't even know. You just don't like the fact that the truth about things, and it's not even going to be the whole truth about things. Like today, right? We was in the American Indian Museum, right? Mm-hmm. So my kids asked me, you know, what is this about? So they were talking about manifest destiny, right?
Oh, geez.
I had to explain to my children what manifest destiny meant and why it was in here with the broken treaties and broken actors. And I had to explain to them, well, baby, this was, and there was a couple of white people that was next to me, and I didn't stop saying what I was going to say.
Good.
But the thing about it, go ahead.
Oh, I said, good. Don't stop. White people need to learn. Beans.
So, I told them about the critical race there. I mean, not critical race, the manifest destiny and how manifest destiny led to all of this.
Just
and that excuse. The Trail of Tears, the March of Death, all these things. And this is why you need to learn critical race theory, how the law impacts everybody, even poor white people. Because poor white people, if you're listening, they didn't even want you to vote if you if you didn't own land. Mm-hmm. White people in the back, they were, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want you to vote or have no place in government. And I don't think they even understand that's where it's going right now. It's going right. The target is us. Because this is the thing, they know if white people think disproportionately that Black people or Hispanics or Asians are going to get a piece of whatever they're thinking about, they're going to vote against their own interests.
Absolutely.
That's where the welfare queen
Absolutely.
came from.
Yeah. Oh, I know. The welfare code. Absolutely. It's made up. It's completely made up. And it's a white
That's
person
where it
anyway.
came from.
Yeah.
That's where the war and drugs and all.
Mhm.
This is the thing.
Divide
And
people
so
so they hate. So
right.
the wealthiest elites get to do whatever they want.
Right. And that's the thing. They don't understand that when they get rid of all the Black people, you think it's going to be a panacea and everything is going to be ice cream and cake? No, they're coming after you. And then they're going to come after you.
Your
and they're
group's
going to come
next.
after you.
Your group's next.
And then the thing about it is, what is that? What was his name? Niemöller?
Martin Niemöller.
You know?
Martin Niemöller.
You know what I'm talking about?
He's a German pastor. Martin Niemöller.
Right,
Yep.
right. And
First
when
they came for the,
me,
you got it. Yep.
right.
First, and
And
there was
the
no
thing.
one left to, yep. It's a German
That's what
pastor
I'm saying.
who felt guilty about him not doing enough when he saw what Hitler was
Right.
doing, and the academics did nothing. And
Right, and that's the thing.
absolutely,
They
Martin
always
Niemöller.
love this Irish with slaves myth. And, you know, okay, well, who was enslaving the Irish and the Scottish? Who was enslaving them? Other white people. So what do you think is going to happen? You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm. You know,
So I just wanted to say that you're amazing,
Thank
and I'll
you.
go back to listening to you.
Oh my gosh, Anastasia, I really would love it. I always say this to you, I would love it if you'd come on the show and do a couple shows, because you're just
Anytime. I was going to ask you, because
please.
you know, I'm a board member of Black Lives Matter Mississippi. Even though I'm in Virginia still, I'm still on the board. So we're going to have we need to link up. So tell me, how do I shoot you my information?
What you do is, I don't know if you can scroll up, but I have it. Let me see. I can actually, I have it. You know, I have an Angry Soccer Mom page on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can write to me personally, private note. I beg you, you're so amazing. You're wonderful. You have so much to say. I want you to be on, like, if you are okay with that.
Yes. Definitely. Listen, I mean, I thought they kicked you off of Facebook. I thought you got kicked off the island.
They did. But I saw it come, something was weird. So I put my husband he doesn't do Facebook. I put him in as an admin, a silent admin. So now I go in under him. That's the only reason I'm on anything.
Don't tell the people. Don't tell the people. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay, thank you. You're wonderful. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Bye. Oh my gosh. That woman's amazing. She is amazing. I am not going to get to anything that I was supposed to get to today. I feel so bad. But I think what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to torment you all. I really want you to hear this short excerpt from the Atlantic. It's called "We May Have Reached Peak Populism," and the article's about the term populism, which is a political approach that strives to appeal to ordinary people. It doesn't mean it really is, but it makes them think that they're going to get their needs. It's called populism, and it can govern on the basis they claim to have exclusive moral representation of the people. It's a very interesting concept. If populists have enough power, they will end up creating an authoritarian state that excludes all the people who are not considered the right or proper people. And so we're talking about a Trump, okay? And what I'm going to do, instead of going over, because I know it's getting awfully late, is I'll just make this a video. I hope people watch it. Maybe I get like 5 views, but I'll make it a video because I really want, this is like incredibly great stuff that I've been given. And then the other thing that I was going to share tonight was I want to share the specific New York City race massacres. I didn't get to tell Anastasia this, but my last video they did was a top 10. And it's not getting a lot of views, but it's like so important. It's a top 10. I shouldn't even say top 10. It's the top 10 videos, top 10 video for race massacres. And I found 10 that a lot of people don't know about, You guys might know about it, but like a lot of white folks don't know about it. And there's 10 more. And then there's 10 more after that. So that's what I've been working on. That's what, oh, you're so sweet. You're so awesome. That's what I've been working on. It took me like a really long time because I have to like do the research, right? And I'm not like this genius person. I have to actually work and, figure it out. So the next thing of the term white was divided. I'm getting to your comments, Garrick. Yep, absolutely. And yet it's like we have to have this common language. But anyway, the first part of this race massacre that occurred in New York City is directly related to what's happening now. It demonstrates exactly what our government does to divide us so we never see a common economic plight and a unite against the wealthiest elites. It's propaganda times 1,000. And it's the very first one on my video for race massacres, top 10. It sounds like it's a good thing, top 10 videos no one's heard, race massacres no one's really heard of. You probably have heard of some of them, but it's unbelievable. And some of them are powerful, horrible. I mean, it's hard to watch. That's probably why people don't watch it, because I mean, it's hard to think of, but these things are historical stuff that's wiped out of history, and they're so important. So I'll just do a separate video on each one of them. It's covering a lot. This nation was and still is barbaric. And if you think, it's because you don't know our real racial history. I mean, I'm not blaming you. If you think, what is that lady talking about? It's because you don't know, if you're white, you don't know your own racial history. And a lot of, it's not particularly your fault, but there is willful ignorance. Once you kind of catch on to what's happening, you just don't just watch, you help, you try to do something to support real equity. It's supporting yourself. Like Anastasia was saying, Martin Niemöller was the one that, and I used to quote him all the time, he was a professor, and he was putting, Hitler hated him. He put him in jail, his own special prison, and he got out. And he regretted inaction. He saw what was going on, just like we see what's going on in our country, the twilight of democracy. You get to turn a little bit to socialism, a little bit more, or you turn to a regime. And if you think it's bad now, oh my God, and it's, we don't know our own history. We don't get it. So, he made a poem, and he used to say this to his, he was a professor. First they came for the unionists, and I wasn't a unionist, so I didn't do anything. Next they came for, and then he just keeps, it's a fabulous, it's a very famous thing. So I'll have to put that up again. I guess it's been a couple of years since I've put it up. But I want people to understand what happened in New York City in the race massacre, because it is exactly the same crap, different day. The other thing I was going to talk about tonight, which maybe I'll make a little video out of, because we're running out of time because it's getting awfully late. And I still want to take some comments. The 1619 Project is an ongoing initiative from the New York Times Magazine that began in August 2019 during the 400th anniversary of the beginning of American enslavement of our human beings, our fellow humans. It aimed to reframe our nation's history by placing the consequences of enslavement and the contributions of Black Americans at the center of the narrative. And the founder of the 1619 Project is Nicole Hannah Jones, who won a Pulitzer Prize for her work on it. This week, there was an ongoing act of racism was occurring at the University of North Carolina. It was this scandal, which she never wanted to have. In fact, she didn't say anything for the longest time until they forced it on her. Jones did an interview this week with Gayle King. I posted on my channel, explaining the scandal over her teaching position. the position Jones wanted at the university comes with tenure. The faculty granted her tenure. I'll say it again. The faculty granted her tenure. So you think, what's the problem? Well, lo and behold, she was denied tenure by the Board of Trustees. The first person ever, okay? Jones told Gayle King that she was the first person to ever be denied tenure in this position due to race and that it was due to her race and gender. The position comes with tenure, but because of the 1619 project, the board said no. What a slap in the racist, what a racist slap in the face. So on June 30th, after the protest by alumni, faculty, students, it got nuts. It was a real crazy thing. Jones was humiliated. That was her alma mater. She was humiliated. She felt horrible after being denied tenure from her own alma mater. So this week, she made a decision. She went on Gayle King's show and said she declined the. They finally gave her tenure under pressure. Jewish, thanks for nothing, you know. Jewish, thanks for nothing. Basically, I totally get what she was saying. It's like, they had to be forced. I mean, she is a brilliant woman. She won a Pulitzer Prize. Give me a break. She shouldn't have to be people begging her to come. So she's going to Howard University, and they are thrilled. So she declined the University of North Carolina. I know it was a horrible thing for her to go through, and they offered her tenure and a teaching position with the school, and instead she accepted a faculty role at Howard University. So they're obviously thrilled. I have a video on it if you want to see it, but it reeks of racism. Reeks of racism. Blatant. Just blatant. They won't tell her why or anything. She knows why. We all know why. All right, let me take some comments. But I'll make some videos out of the other stuff because I think it's really cool. Like, I love sharing all this stuff. It's fascinating and people need to know. Let me just back it up. Oh my gosh, I've skipped so many people. I apologize. Yes, I'm talking about the NYC draft. Yes, draft riots. Yes, Anastasia. Yes. That's what I was talking about. I just like, it's a 10-minute video, but it also has 10 horrific things that have been written out of history. And so I talk like rather fast, and it goes fast, and it is hard to take, but it's so important. Exactly, Anastasia. That's what I was talking about. Valerie, it's broken up into 4 1-hour show. Okay, you guys are talking. That's fine. I sometimes if people are like talking, I love it, but I don't know. I have to back up, so I don't know what you're saying. Garrick, wasn't it Seneca Village that became Central Park? I believe so. Yeah, that's what Anastasia was talking about. They took people's houses. It was awful. They did awful. I'm gonna put that on my list as one that is not on my list of videos. There's just too many things. I can't keep up. Garrick, wasn't it? Okay. I'm just looking at conversations, wonderful conversations. Then they came for the Jews and I didn't speak out because I was not a Jew. Yep, Anastasia, that's the one. Talanda. Okay, I'll probably be angry because I can hardly handle the Underground Railroad. It's really, this is tough stuff. Valerie, I don't want to tag people. I love that poem. Yes, I can't tag people anymore. I can't. And it's horrible. And I always like my friends who want my support or something to be able to tag me so I can support them. But I don't know how to, anyway, that's my problem. They still didn't tell me why I was kicked off. It's ridiculous. They didn't give me any warning, no jail, no nothing. I'd been in jail for 2 days in my entire life, in Facebook jail. Okay, and that was months and months and months, like maybe a year. And then all of a sudden they just took me off. So it's really screwed up. Tag yourself, you'll see your name in red. Okay, yeah, teach each other, yay. Yeah, they attacked the orphanage. Oh, they were sick. Yes. Anastasia, they attacked the orphanage. yeah. So these, yeah. Oh, Howard University, Valerie, is got to be ecstatic. Ecstatic. Absolutely. I'm going to wrap up the show for tonight, but I cannot thank you enough for being here. I hope if you feel like I do, that it's way past time for white America to take racial responsibility. It's not rocket science. It's called being human and care. Because caring about our fellow humans is caring about us. It's not in our best interest to be racist. We are going against our own best interest, but we seem to just love that racism so much we can't control ourselves. I don't even know what to say, but it's just the freakiest, enraging, most. Ugh, okay, enough about that. Anastasia, but like I told people, the Irish and the Scottish and the Poles and all the people became white about 60s. Yeah, and these are the same ones helped destroy Seneca Village. And right, absolutely, we turned all the whites together so they could be a whole group. We made it so that they're all one. And yeah, yep. That's cute. She turned it down. Howard, Anastasia, enslaved people may have to compete with their jobs. Right. That was part of the, they were very angry, and it's exactly the point. Butting people against each other so that they hate the wrong person for destroying their lives. Black people haven't destroyed our lives. My God, we've destroyed theirs. I mean, it's all just so, it's like some sort of fantasy world. We live a lie, and I am here to at least try to help to make sure that the lie is not perpetuated. I won't do it. I don't lie about other things, and I sure as hell am not going to lie about my own racial history. Not going to happen. So that's why I'm here. Thank you so much, everybody. Please consider passing my videos on. I cannot pass my videos on to people onto Facebook because I don't have an individual account. So I count on everybody else. If you like something you see, please pass it on. And it'll eventually get to white folks who need to see it. And I'd appreciate it very much. So if you liked anything that you heard tonight, jump in there and check out, that's this week's videos on my YouTube channel. And sometimes I'll hurry and I won't really do the video justice with the thumbnail, but the video is amazing, but my thumbnail's not. So don't judge a book by its cover because sometimes there's some cool videos that I'm just rushing too much to, there's just too much going on. But anyway, thank you all. Please stay safe. The talk around town is things are going to get a lot worse, not better. And I don't see how they could, but you know, just please stay safe. Please stay safe. Okay. And thank you so much for being here. And PM me if you need or want anything or have comments or criticisms or just anything. Thanks, Pat. Oh, you're still here. That's awesome. Thank you. And sweet dreams, everybody. And please stay safe. Thank you, Valerie. I'm so thrilled that you were here. I know. And like, we have so many, you guys make the show. It's like, it's amazing. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Don't be a stranger. Personal message me. Good night. Thank you all for being here.